Hey there, this is Smoking DM. I haven't been able to make a video in some time. I had an issue with my home with my washing machine decided to go kerplunk on me and throw about 6 inches of water into my basement. So sorry about not being able to make a video in some time. But after a few months and a few arguments with the insurance company, I'm back up and rolling. I never did do a video about putting the grid onto my tiles, and I believe it was asked if somebody would like to see that. So I got a couple tiles that I've made, and I've already got a few that I've already started doing the gridding on. And basically what it boils down to is funny enough that you look around that you see that this is chaos, but I call it organized chaos because I still have a general direction of where I'm going and how I'm doing it. But generally, like any other writer for D&D, you start with your dungeon floor plan, you know, typical graph paper, and then from using the graph paper you can figure out small little things that you'll need to do to incorporate that the dungeon's gridding fits correctly. Certain things that I do in advance is when I cut my strips, all of my strips I measure and cut 1/4 inch. So when I do the measurements off of my little grid cheat sheet, if you will, dungeon, I know when I need a 1/2 inch chopped off here or there to make it butt up and meet evenly. Because when you open the door, all of my doors that I make are a 1/4 inch wide, roughly. And I'll use those to, like you'll see when this room is finished, I'll do the work and then show you the result. When you open the door, you can see how this is just a little bit shorter. So I measured this to 1 3/4 inch. So when I add it to this piece, like so, this will have a little bit of a square on it also to make it 2 square inches. You'll see in the final rendition when I've finished it. But really how it boils down is you take your measurements from your map. On my map, I made each box or grid a 2 inch by 2 inch section, or in the game terms 10 by 10 feet. And pretty much just work your magic from there. I mean, I'm not a major math person or anything like that. I figure if I could figure this out, the majority of people that want to use grid still and use some of DM Sadi's techniques still can. I'm a little bit more over the top as far as bordering and stuff, you can see, because I want to make sure that it's visually clear to everybody that that's a wall. Main things you're really going to need as far as some of the bigger tiles is definitely one of these. If you ain't got a yardstick, get one. I mean, everybody should have a yardstick. Magic of running out of memory when you're recording. Woo, it's back in my head. Anyways, you're going to need a yardstick. You're going to need dry erase marker. I buy mine in like 2 packs of a couple bucks, something like that. You know, typical thing that you'll use for any of your dungeon mats. Will work just as well if you want to use different colors, I found. But me, classic black and gray dungeon tiles. So black it is. Also, I forgot to mention, one of the most important things that you can use when you're fashioning tiles and you want to make sure your grid works is a simple square. A lot of the times you don't even really have to have the direct measurement. As long as you know how large it is, you can just fill it in as far as, like, you know, things like angles and stuff, you know. Hold it like so. You can roughly figure out where I'm going with that direction. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grid the rest of my tiles here and show you what that looks like, and also show a few of the things that I've made in the last couple of weeks that I haven't shown you yet. I have a couple tables and a couple of huts that came out really cool looking, I thought. So let me do the gridding and I'll show you what it looks like when I finish. So as you can see, after it's gridded, it comes out pretty snazzy looking. And like I was saying about the extra 1/4 inch pieces, I don't want to show you too much of the embellishments for this map that I have planned because first off, one of my players was helping me record to begin with, so obviously people have a way of going online and checking this out, and this is all in the works. So, you know, I don't want to essentially give them a guide to get through this encounter. But anyways, you can see, like I said, there's a 1/4 inch there, so you can leave the 3/4 inch there. So let me grab a door, make it a little bit better of an illustration here. The portcullis. Boom. Pop that into place. Like so. And then, saying it's a portcullis, they'll say they can look through the door. You add that on there, and they can see what's inside. We'll take this I'm going to be using sooner or later. A little temple shrine type thing, if you will. So when they pop open the door, there you go. Inch by inch by inch. Got to work our way in there. And of course, you know, got my other sides. The same effect. You might get a little bit of a line because of the differential, but I'm sure anybody can see beyond that. And also a couple of things I've made. Plan on having a banquet type encounter, so I made some tables. Relatively easy how I made them. Just cardboard, cardstock, and a little ingenuity, and a nice paint job. So it comes out looking like a wood tabletop. I think it looks pretty good. And also, I'm just going to grab 2 or 3 of these just to show you how nice these fit onto the squares that you'd like to put them on. A couple of huts, stone huts. These I made with hot glue, cardstock, some 2-inch tube that I don't even know where I got it from, but I've had it for so long and I decided I was going to use it for something. So I cut them about 2 inches tall. Then I took some cardstock and made a cone out of it and glued it on top. And this is hollow. Anyway, the sticks on top, or the roof, is made out of the skewers that you use for shish kebabs, and then in the cracks and such, I took broken pieces of, it looks fuzzy, broken pieces of toothpicks, and just, you know, slap my mediocre paint job on it, a little bit of moss and stuff, stones. Well, I pretty much wrapped that up. I just wanted to let everybody know that it takes a little bit more effort. I ain't gonna lie, you know, it takes a little bit more in the preconception concept stage to do what you're going to do as far as making all the grids flow so nice. But I think the convenience is, for my personal thoughts, as far as the convenience of being able to use the grids for players that are familiar with such a way of playing the game, and not necessarily saying that playing without grids is an inconvenience or anything, but you know, I believe that's player-to-player preference. You know, some people might feel an inconvenience, other people might not. Anyways, I hope this helps, and I hope you enjoy.